city, a beacon of neon dreams, a testament to humanity's ambition and its endless pursuit of excess. But beneath the glow, beyond the familiar streets, lies something else. A darkness, a rot, the forgotten corners where sanity unravels, and the true horror of this future resides. This isn't a tour of landmarks or a chronicle of power. This is a journey into Cyberpunk 2077's shadowed heart, into places deliberately hidden, accidentally forgotten, or chillingly left unfinished. From the remnants of unseen tragedies to the disturbing echoes of strange cults, and finally to the very edges of the known world, where reality itself seems to fray. Welcome to the dark side of Cyberpunk 2077. We begin our journey not in the grand plazas, but in the places where life simply stopped. Northeast of the Badlands. Here, where the water is a very rare sight, the discovery of a lake is unusual in itself. But what I was truly unprepared for was this. At first glance, the mind immediately jumps to the grim realities of Night City's criminal underworld. Perhaps a mass dumping ground, a gruesome secret. But upon closer inspection, the scene becomes even more unsettling. These are not dead bodies. They're not even human. Every single one is a mannequin. Discarded props in what appears to be almost blood-like oil. Two colossal lights loom over this strange scene, illuminating a surreal, abandoned horror. What exactly happened here? A deeper look around provides some initial clues. Among scattered equipment and abandoned trailers, a data shard offers a chilling explanation. It details the sudden collapse of 24 frames per second studios, renowned for their horror productions like You Whisper, I Scream, and Hell Lake 1 and 2. Due to a major sponsor withdrawal, their latest production, Hell Lake 3, was abruptly halted, and all property, including this grim scenery, was simply abandoned. This weird scene, this blood lake with its silent plastic victims, is merely the lingering shadow of a defunct nightmare, a chilling piece of art imitating death, left to decay in the unforgiving landscape. And yet, knowing its origin doesn't lessen the profound sense of unease it leaves behind. From unsettling art mimicking death in the Badlands, we now plunge into another kind of drowned secret, one not left by artistic failure, but by a city's ambition, now swallowed by the cold, silent waves.
Used to be called Laguna Bend. Just 15 years ago, people still lived here.
Here, at the imposing Laguna Bend Dam, the surface reflects a deceptive scenery. Trash, debris, even somehow a single tree defiantly growing amidst the discarded remnants. Laguna Bend was once a small suburb, a community that faced a grim fate. Around mid-2062, its residents found their land was bought out by a corporation with plans to turn their homes into a vast reservoir. Residents were offered temporary housing, but those who resisted became targets of a brutal smear campaign, labeled agents of public unrest for simply trying to save their homes. Police tactics escalated into open violence. The townsfolk protested. These were ignored as construction pressed on, even while people still lived in their houses. This escalation culminated in a fatal accident on July 14th, 2062. A resident, attempting to stall construction from a crane, inadvertently caused a suspended load to fall, tragically colliding with a home and killing a family inside. This incident sealed the town's fate. By the time the newly constructed dam was operational, the entire town was submerged.
NC Dam Limited made plans to build a dam. People protested, and the rest is history. Houses, playgrounds, all flooded.
Unfortunately, this grand project didn't succeed as planned. The water, inexplicably, turned toxic. Even a resilient former resident who built a cottage by the shore, trying to stay close to his submerged home, was forced to leave due to sickness from the highly toxic water.
One of our neighbors was hell-bent on staying in Laguna Bend. Badges literally dragged him out of his house before the water came in. So he built himself another house as close as he possibly could, but then he got sick. Water was way more toxic back then.
15 years later, by 2077, the ruined town still remains underwater, almost completely undisturbed. While the water's toxicity has thankfully lessened, allowing for safe dives with proper equipment.
Flo's Diner, best eatery in town. Only one at that, too. Burgers weren't amazing, too greasy. Big. Of course, I say that now. Back then, they were the best thing I'd ever chewed and swallowed. Huh. Church hasn't aged at all. It always looked old and like it had landed here from outer space. Bells were cracked, too. Gave off this eerie, atonal clang. Never actually went to church. Never even really paid attention to it. It was just there, you know? Once we knew Laguna Bend was to be flooded, people gathered here to plan a protest.
Did it achieve anything?
Look around.
Emerging from the drowned silence of Laguna Bend, we trade one kind of forgotten despair for another. Some seek the perceived safety of hidden shelters, but in this world, even the most fortified spaces can hold their own grim, silent stories.
Just rather not think about any of that today. Anything dark.
From a distance, only a faint, singular light pierces the pervasive darkness of the plains, broken only by the mournful creak of the turbine's broken, fallen wing. We find an open entrance leading to another entrance. The space is claustrophobic, a small, desolate room filled with the remnants of desperate existence, scattered food supplies, medical kits, and two dead bodies, a man and a woman. Among their belongings and supplies, a journal provides a harrowing glimpse into their final days. The entries speak of Nicole's distrust of being kept safe from an outside world where, the moment she left, they'd come for her and kill her. The author insists on having saved her life, demanding gratitude, even believing that one day she'll look at me with love and see me as her savior. This isn't just a tale of survival, but of forced captivity, a twisted narrative of control under the guise of protection. There are so many forgotten bunkers scattered across the Badlands, remnants of a world constantly on the brink. But this one feels uniquely eerie, not just for the bodies within, but the profound personal tragedy revealed by those final chilling words. A testament to human desperation and the thin line between savior and captor, all played out in suffocating isolation. But the journey now takes us not merely back to Night City, but deep into its very rot. For amidst the glittering chaos of the city, the true darkness doesn't always scream from the forgotten fringes. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, in the suffocating silence of human despair, a place where sanity unravels. The seamlessly ordinary streets in Night City, bursting with the energy of everyday life. Yet amidst this normalcy stands a building, perhaps familiar to those who have tread certain paths in Cyberpunk 2077, but beyond its familiar facade lies a descent into the truly unsettling. Stepping inside the ground floor, the lights and life of the city vanish. An oppressive darkness descends. So complete that a flashlight mod is almost essential to navigate. The usual city hum is replaced by an unnerving silence, punctuated only by the occasional sound of shattering glass. Something lies in the shadow at the back of this floor, but it's just out of reach for us. The walls are defaced with disturbing faces and frantic drawings, a prelude to the madness that awaits us. We find ourselves before room 101, the first of many silent apartments within this decaying structure, where our path leads us upwards. Level 2 is off limits, level 3 beckons. On this floor, room 300 offers very little. But its next door neighbor, room 301, holds a far more sinister tale. A narrow gap in the door reveals a trail of blood, a gruesome invitation we accept, using unconventional means to bypass the locked entrance. And that's where we see it. A bloody wrench lies on the floor. The walls are covered in manic writings, a jumble of barely coherent phrases. Yet amidst the chaos, a chilling message stands out. I am not me. Looking closer at the drawings, we notice disturbing figures lurking on the ceiling and floor, adding to the unsettling atmosphere. Who lived here? What torment drove them to this point? We move to room 303, a location familiar to those who followed certain paths in Cyberpunk's main quest. It's almost like a safety net in here, away from the darkness of what's outside. We find another long, dark, utterly creepy hallway. Room 307 mirrors the horrors of 301. The "not me" message is scrawled on the wall once more, a reoccurring nightmare. The walls have been broken down, leading into other rooms, and finally to a gaping hole in the floor, a descent into the blocked off section we glimpsed on the ground floor earlier, hinting at a deeper, interconnected darkness. We go through it, and we're back on the ground floor. We find what was once a shop, now abandoned and silent. Inside, next to a pool of blood, lies a single discarded lady's shoe. And a crime scene that is abandoned? Is this linked to the particular horrors in 301? Is this the same person? What did this person do? Going further into the ground floor section, amidst this decay, strange anomalies persist. A lone arcade cabinet glows in the darkness, its screen a flickering beacon in the surrounding gloom. In another room, speakers play music into the void, a bizarre soundtrack to the surrounding desolation. On level 4, a final discovery awaits. A metal door, defaced with the words "No Future" and splattered with blood. This door is sealed, but through unconventional means, we're able to clip through the doors to see what we can find. And what we find is odd. There's this completely empty room just here. It does nothing. I'm not even sure why it's here, leaving us to question its purpose, its very existence in this place of madness. We leave behind the suffocating despair of Night City's forgotten places, the chilling echoes of lives unraveling in shadow. But the journey into Cyberpunk's dark heart is far from over. What we uncover next isn't just abandoned. It's a profound testament to the uncanny, the forgotten, the truly disturbing ways humanity attempts to find meaning in the void. Hop on our bike, leaving the glittering, chaotic sprawl of Night City behind us as we venture deep into the sun-baked, dust-choked Badlands. Our destination? The often overlooked Southern Expanse, a region that, to me, has always felt profoundly, inexplicably odd. Almost immediately, the landscape shifts into something surreal. The horizon is dominated by vast Biotechnica flats, stretching out under the sky. These immense, uniform structures of metal and translucent material represent the backbone of Night City's food supply. There are hundreds upon hundreds of them. Yet, here, they are utterly silent. No hum of machinery, no distant voices of workers, no signs of life or human presence. A chilling testament to the scale of human consumption. Adding to the strangeness is the way the main road from the city abruptly, almost inexplicably, terminates here. It simply ends, leaving us to navigate the broken, winding trails that snake further south. And along these forgotten paths, a different kind of unsettling discovery awaits. Scattered, silent, and unexplained, a trail of bodies litter the ground. It's a stark reminder that even in the most abandoned corners of this world, death finds a way to leave its mark, hinting at untold stories of despair and violence. A locked gate stands as an impassable barrier for now, stopping us from going further south. We'll return to this point later in our journey, for it hides paths not meant to be travelled. Further on, we come across a peculiar sight, a makeshift vault door emblazed with the number 101. It's clearly a tribute, a nod to a bygone era of apocalyptic fiction. On one of the bodies, we discover a data shard, offering a fragmented explanation for this grim scene. The shard reveals a conversation between two individuals, Albert Cole and Gary Epps. Albert enthusiastically describes a live-action roleplay where they reenact scenarios of nuclear holocaust mutants, leaving the safety of Bunker 101 to find the hydro processor, offering a chance to make the story as we go along, to become the hero. Gary, on the other hand, expresses skepticism, dismissing it as it's playing dress-up with a plastic pistol, and reminds Albert that this is the Badlands. Scary shit happens out here. Albert dismisses his concerns, simply telling him to relax and try enjoy yourself. The irony is profound and tragic. You realize the participants, their game seamlessly ended in genuine death. This Vault 101 isn't a shelter, but a chilling testament to the collision of escapist fantasy with the brutal, unforgiving reality of the Badlands, where scary shit truly does happen, regardless of whether your guns are real or plastic. The red glow casting a ritualistic light over the figures. Amongst this disturbing scene, we discover a data shard. It reveals the beliefs of a group calling themselves the Children of the Ark and their prophet's chilling vision. Their solution was a radical one: to seek new life, launch our Ark into the boundless depths of space, board our ship of souls, our paradise, and set off for the stars in search of eternal life. Their prophet declared to live, we must die. We must shuffle off our mortal bodies. A paradox, yes, yet without such mysteries, there is no life. This scene is their grim salvation, a desperate final attempt to escape a perceived digital damnation. The irony is as profound as it is disturbing, seeking eternal life through death, connected to the very technology they so desperately feared. Their internal journey began here, in this desolate patch of the Badlands, a testament to the extremes of a belief in a world spiraling out of control. In another nearby section, we also get another reminder that perhaps NPCs really are questioning their existence. A town littered with pipes and tires, sometimes hoses, that are sticking out of the ground. These are everywhere here for some bizarre reason. Inside the church, we find what doesn't look like a church at all. What looks like a bunch of servers. Oddly, there's also an arcade cabinet here with a game that you can't find anywhere else. This is Doom, essentially, but with Johnny Silverhand as the main protagonist. Why is this here? Why is all of this here? We also get another shard from another author who's also questioning their existence in this world as well. Beyond the tangible horrors and tragic histories we've uncovered, Cyberpunk 2077 harbors a more unsettling meta-level mystery that some players have explored. The theory is that certain NPCs might be aware of the simulated world they inhabit. While often dismissed as quirks of code or fortunate coincidences, these instances compel a deeper question about the very nature of reality within Night City itself. The game's core themes of consciousness, digitalized engrams like Johnny Silverhand, and the blurred lines between digital and organic existence lead unsettling weight to these observations. The speculative unease is amplified by the game's deepest, fourth wall breaking mystery of all, FF06B5. Many moons ago, this cryptic code was found by a player on a statue in the Corpo Plaza. and it baffled and obsessed the community for years. It's more than just an Easter egg, it's a spiraling unsolved puzzle that some believe holds the key to a meta-narrative or even a hidden layer of the game's reality. Players have pored over every detail, every pixel, searching for connections. The theory suggests that FF06B5 isn't just an arbitrary sequence, but a deliberate breadcrumb, a message from within the simulation to the outside of it. Certain NPC dialogues, environmental cues, or even the bizarre behavior of specific characters have been interpreted as direct responses to or hints at this code, as if parts of the game itself are trying to communicate a deeper truth about their simulated nature. Could the answers to FF06B5 lie not just in decoding a puzzle, but in the understanding of a consciousness that has awakened within the game's confines? Is this grand enigma a developer's elaborate way of hinting that some of the characters are breaking the fourth wall, becoming sentient within their own digital prison? It's a profound, unsettling layer to Cyberpunk 2077, where the grandest, most disturbing secret isn't a hidden place, but the very nature of Night City's reality, perceived by those we dismiss as mere programs. After seeing all this, I knew that there was only one more place I could go to, and it was a place I wasn't even meant to go. Remember that locked gate we encountered earlier, deep in the Badlands? We return to it now, for our journey takes us beyond the map itself. For years, I've stared at these small, curious markings on the very edge of Night City's known world, wondering about their purpose. Why would developers place points of interest on the map at the literal limits of the playable area if we weren't meant to discover them? It feels like a deliberate challenge or a whisper of hidden secrets hidden in plain sight, just beyond the official boundaries of the game itself. As we approach, the answer reveals itself. A colossal, imposing wall towering over the landscape. This isn't just a boundary, it's a deliberate division, separating the familiar chaos of Night City from an ocean of literal darkness ahead. It feels like stepping off the edge of the world into a void where the game's designers explicitly warn you away. A stark digital message flashes across the screen. Turn back. There's nothing out there for you. But the very nature of this quest compels us forward. As we press on, a chilling shift occurs. The game's vibrant, ever-present soundtrack abruptly fades. All music ceases. Only the raw silence of the virtual void remains. We push on, expecting only emptiness. Yet, against all logic, we discover sea defenses. As we venture deeper into this digital void, something else catches my eye in the distance. A structure, seemingly floating. It's a small building suspended in the air. Upon arrival, our visions become a bit more clear into what appears to be the exterior of a school. It looks unfinished, yet oddly complete, with a playground and a front door. It's a surreal and unsettling welcome to a place that shouldn't exist. Heading inside, the vibe completely changes. These aren't the ordinary sounds of an abandoned building. They're like ambient school noises, warped, carrying a hollow, unsettling echo to them. And then, the unmistakable, bizarre sound of cows mooing, echoing through the empty halls, deepening the sense of profound wrongness. It is disorientating, a collage of sounds that don't belong, creating an atmosphere of psychological dread. What becomes profoundly unsettling, however, is the interior's level of detail. Corridors are stretched out, fully textured, yet completely empty in some parts. Why is this place fully crafted with such meticulous attention paid to its environment, but abandoned out here in the middle of nowhere? Beyond the game's official boundaries, it feels as if a piece of the world was crafted, then deliberately vanished, gone. We then find a sign for a cafeteria, and as we enter the cafeteria, the space triggers a chilling recognition. This isn't just an abandoned school. This is the very location from one of Cyberpunk 2077's most disturbing quests.
(1038), I repeat at 1038, registration 2AA6244, we're exiting our vehicle now.
For those unfamiliar, the hunt delves into incredibly dark and sensitive themes. A harrowing investigation into a series of disappearances linked to a sinister, predatory individual who exploits and abuses vulnerable young people. Part of the quest's investigation takes place in a brain dance sequence here, within this very school, forcing V to relive fragmented traumatic memories from the victim's perspective. It's truly a harrowing experience designed to push boundaries and to force the player to confront the darkest corners of human depravity and the profound loss of innocence. This location serves as a stark reminder of the often overlooked and deeply unsettling reality of children's lives in Night City. While they appear in various districts, often in gangs or struggling in poverty, the game rarely shies away from portraying their harsh existence. Unlike many other dystopian narratives that may shield the young, Cyberpunk 2077 places children directly in harm's way, exposed to violence, exploitation, and the chilling consequences of a world without mercy. They are often victims, sometimes perpetrators, but almost always stripped of any semblance of a carefree childhood. Their innocence is a commodity, easily lost or brutally stolen, highlighting the city's pervasive corruption at its most vulnerable point. What makes stumbling upon this out-of-bounds school so profoundly disturbing is that the specific haunting noises from that brain dance, the distorted voices, the guttural sounds, the eerie ambience, even some more disturbing noises you might not have heard from the original quest, exist here. It's as if the echoes of the trauma, the sheer horror of what happened here, have been imprinted onto the very fabric of this location, persisting even when it's detached from the narrative context and existing in a space that shouldn't matter. To discover this chilling fragment of a quest, the scene of profound digital trauma intertwined with the stark reality of childhood vulnerability in Night City, abandoned in the vast, empty expanse beyond the game's limits. It's a stark reminder that even the most disturbing parts of this world, once created, continue to exist, whispering their unsettling stories, whether you're meant to hear them or not. It's a permanent scar on the soul of Night City. Leaving the haunted silence of the school behind, we venture further eastward, plunging deeper into the digital unknown. Here, at the farthest reaches of Night City's map, much has simply been left to decay. We pass remnants of familiar zones like the checkpoint that marked the entry point for nomads into the city. There's a strange kind of life out here. The assets exist, the textures are loaded, but there's no one here. No NPCs, no traffic, just a space. Our path is once again halted by another colossal wall, a final barrier. But beneath it, a subtle hint of something more beckons. Is something hidden down there, beneath the surface? Before us stretches a huge, gaping, dark tunnel, an impossible void leading us to a truly warped version of the sea, a place that feels like the very end of the digital world. The water is distorted, the textures stretch and shimmer, the stars unrealistically reflect off the water below, an unholy landscape where the boundaries of reality seem to dissolve. Broken oil pump stands silently, a relic of a purpose now lost in this surreal space. But underneath, we discover what appears to be a hidden map. Or is it? These patterns look like crude dirt trails, but their precise layout, their deliberate lines, make one question: are they merely environmental textures, or are they something else? This journey beyond the visible map into the game's unfinished edges is perhaps the most profound kind of unsettling. We've witnessed abandoned concepts, digital echoes of trauma, and landscapes that break the very rules of the world they belong to. These aren't just glitches or textures, they are lingering questions, silent testaments to what lies beneath the polished surface of Night City. They are unseen horrors and the forgotten corners of code and ambition, never truly meant to be found, yet existing nonetheless. They force us to ponder at the very nature of this digital world and what else might be lurking beyond the veil of perception. We have journeyed far from the neon-drenched streets, delving into the unseen, or the forgotten hidden corners of Night City. Each discovery, whether a forgotten tragedy or a chilling anomaly, is a thread, and when woven together, they paint a picture far more disturbing than the city's glossy, violent surface. These aren't just isolated incidents, they are the true reflections of Night City's soul and the dark currents that run beneath its blinding light. The very fact that these anomalies, these disturbing scenes, these echoes of trauma exist to be seen, however unintended their display, is what truly defines the dark side of Cyberpunk 2077. It forces us to ask how many more horrors lie hidden within Night City's alleys, its silent corners, or even its very code. For beneath the chrome and the glamour, the true nightmares are not just part of the story. They are part of the world, profoundly and chillingly real for those who seek them out.